Hi, I'm Akilan.
I'm Logan.
I'm Josh.
I'm Jonathan.
I'm Nathan, and we are the DB engineers.
For this year's SourceAmerica Design Challenge, we worked with Ability Counts, a non-profit organization in Corona, California, that employs individuals with disabilities. One problem that Ability Counts employees have is accurately and efficiently assembling nuts and bolts. Correctly fastening a bolt into a nut requires aligning the nut and bolt in the correct orientation, rotating the nut in the right direction, and stopping the nut at the proper location. Out of all the employees at Ability Counts, only a handful of workers are capable of completing this task.
Meet Grant, one of the employees at Ability Counts and our chosen SME. He finds a strong fascination with engines and related mechanical designs, but is held back to pursue these interests because of his limited finger mobility. They are constantly fixed into a pinching position, restricting his motor skills and causing discomfort after extended use. Just using his hands, he took roughly 45 seconds to screw one nut and bolt, with an average of 60 sets per hour, accounting for organizing the parts and fixing mistakes. Doing more sets brought up issues with fatigue and product consistency, for example, the orientation of the nut. Taking on hundreds of sets for several hours daily would undeniably place a heavy toll on him and his health.
To help Grant and the other employees, we created the fastener. We focused on making the nut and bolt task feasible for all workers, with optimal product consistency and user comfort. Our first prototype assembled only one nut and bolt at a time. By cutting slots into scrap pieces of wood and attaching them with a simple hinge, the nut could be screwed onto the bolt using a power drill. Seeing that our mechanism worked with one screw, we decided to expand the system to assemble 5 nuts and bolts simultaneously.
The second iteration of our device seemed simple enough to make. The only complication was to determine a method to turn all the nuts at the same time. We considered using a chain and sprocket, gears, and a belt with wheels with teeth. Ultimately, we decided to use gears as the apparatus to rotate all the nuts at the same time because they are the most cost efficient and have the lowest risk of malfunction. Initially, we searched for gears to buy online, but decided later to design our own using CorelDRAW, granting us more customization and saving money in the long run. We first thought to create our entire device from additive manufacturing, but it was most efficient for us to utilize a combination of laser cutting, 3D printing, and basic woodworking. The nut holder is color-coded with yellow acrylic to contrast against the red acrylic, which helps them operate our device with any confusion. We also added a damper next to the lower hinge to prevent the device from being damaged by being closed too forcefully, and magnets on the top to make it easier for employees to remove the finished assemblies. With the core mechanism finalized, the rest of our changes revolved around what would make the device easier to use.
After visiting the company one more time for testing, we noticed that the workers had difficulties with timing the button press and would benefit from a clearer system for sorting the nuts and bolts. Thus, we added a time relay to the button, so it requires only one push and screws the nuts in the perfect amount. We also added bins that are color-coded to the acrylic slot in the fastener, providing a logical path of construction.
First, Grant loads all the nuts and bolts onto the device. Then he closes the device using the handle on the back and pushes the button on the front to automatically start screwing in the bolts. After a couple seconds, Grant opens the device and is able to grab the completed assemblies attached to the magnets on top of the fastener. He can finally complete the process by placing them into the finished bin and start again with the next set. In his first try, Grant took about 3 minutes to finish 5 sets of nuts and bolts, resulting in a rate of 100 pairs per hour compared to a starting time of 60 pairs, and all with much more comfort, consistency, and tenacity.
And do you think our devices opened up opportunities for employees that had trouble with this task before?
Yes, definitely. I think this device will make a huge difference for the individuals that couldn't even hold the nut or the bolt or couldn't understand how to twist it. I feel like this is a simple put it in, push it down, and push a button.
The fastener was designed with the vision of being used far into the future at the company, as it's possible to add custom nut and bolt holders to accommodate whatever project Ability Counts may tackle. All that needs to be done is to design additional holders for the different applications. It's also easy to train new employees using the color-coded slots, bins, and a one-push button mechanism. To finish it off, the magnetic ejection method makes it quick and simple to gather the collected assemblies. Now all employees at Ability Counts can perform the fastening process rather than just a select handful. Most importantly, Grant enjoys using our device, leading to an increase of job satisfaction in production.
Did the device help you, Grant?
Oh yeah, it did. Oh yeah, it did.
It helped.